I'm Scott Helman, political editor of the Boston Globe. Yesterday, we finally saw the long-awaited, much-anticipated elections in Massachusetts, and what did we wake up to today? Well, we woke up to a bunch of Democrats returning to power or, in some cases, winning open seats. Governor Deval Patrick was reelected. The all-Democrat Massachusetts congressional delegation will remain all-Democrat after Barney Frank and James McGovern and Nikki Strongest and others fended off some fairly strong challenges from Republicans, and after Bill Keating beat Jeff Perry for the open seat in the 10th congressional district. So what's interesting about these results in watching the entire electoral picture yesterday nationally is that they are very different from what we've seen around the country. Massachusetts went blue in a pretty big way yesterday, despite all these warnings from Republicans and these boasts about how they were going to remake the balance of power here. They really didn't in the end. Republicans did gain some legislative seats, which is significant, but they did not win any of the major races that they were seeking, which is certainly a disappointment. Nationally, of course, it's a very different story. Republicans picked up dozens of seats in the U.S. House, enough to take control. It looks like they're not going to take the U.S. Senate, but they picked up a number of seats there as well. And these results nationally are pretty much seen as a rebuke, or at least a warning to President Obama, some sort of referendum on his power in his first 2 years in office. I think one thing to look for now heading into the next election cycle, which will be in 2012, of course, that'll be a presidential election, but Scott Brown will also be up. His seat will be up, and he will have to run for re-election. I think one thing that these results yesterday might do is prompt a few Democrats who were maybe nervous about challenging him or thinking that they had no chance. I think this will maybe convince some people that this race is actually winnable, that Democrats could take it back. After all, this was Ted Kennedy's seat. He held it for decades. It's possible that there'll just be this Republican interregnum and the Democrats will take it back. So I think you will start to see some of the people in the congressional delegation, potentially Mike Capuano, possibly Stephen Lynch, take another look at challenging Brown in 2012. One major obstacle for anyone challenging him, however, is that Brown, in the closing days of his special election earlier this year, raised a ton of money from around the country from many Republican conservative donors. And so he has a very, very healthy, fat war chest to run a campaign on. So that is immediately going to turn a lot of people off, because whoever runs against him is going to have to raise a fair amount of money to even be competitive. But I do think in general you will see increased interest in Scott Brown's seat, even though he remains generally a popular figure in the state.